And now it's too late to address many of those things. So not only is it the grief of the lies, meaning you didn't or couldn't do some things, but the confusion about what was actually real in your life. It can leave people in a ruminating fog, staring at old photographs and wondering, I was smiling, but now I know it was a lie. Were they happy? What just happened to me and what just happened in my life? When working with survivors, I often encourage them to divide things into different categories: episodes, contexts, and feelings. When people ask themselves, was my life real? It can be really challenging because, yeah, it was, as real as anything is, but it's not what those things happen, but it's the interpretation and perception of those events that's getting challenged. So the question is not, when you look at the picture, did we go to Italy? Obviously, yes, you did. You have the picture of you standing in front of the Tower of Pisa, or the yellow and boarding pass stub, or the earrings you bought at a flea market. Yes, you were there. So that part was real. Yes, you did go to Italy. Yes, you did go to that restaurant or stayed in that hotel or whatever it was you did. That real part is the episode. The episode happened. But then, when you look at that smile and look at that photo, and you're both smiling big, and then you do the math and recognize, for example, that perhaps your partner's affair was actually happening at that time. You just didn't know it at the time. It doesn't take away the episode. You, in fact, did get on a plane and go to Italy, but it changes the context. You were actually in Italy with a person who was thinking about and communicating with someone else. The trip, the physical trip, was real, but the circumstances were not what you thought. And that shift in context can really do a number on your mind. Fact is, the people were smiling in the picture. We don't know, actually, though, why. Then there is the feeling part. You believed you had gone to Italy with a loving partner, maybe to address a rough patch in the relationship, or take your first trip together in years. That smiling picture. You recall being happy that day. Was your partner happy that day? Who the hell knows? Maybe they were. Maybe they were actually happy having a nice time in Italy with you because it's beautiful. And they were bolstered by whatever additional narcissistic supply their affair was giving them. Maybe they weren't happy. Maybe it was a white-knuckle trip for them, and they had planned to divorce you. So they were smiling through gritted teeth. Is the part that really doesn't, because you perceived a truth. See that smiling picture? But in fact, it wasn't what you thought. A narcissistic relationship involves years, if not lifetime, of thinking, and all of that wishful thinking being drawn and rendered into a relationship. All of those justifications and hopes and beliefs and future fake promises becoming a sort of picture you have drawn of the relationship you want, the relationship you hoped for, the relationship you wanted to believe in. When the lies slowly reveal themselves, the justifications are shown for what they are, and it is devastating. The cognitive dissonance, the trauma bond, all of that, the whole thing. Why didn't I see any of this? Why didn't I leave when I saw the lies? And why didn't they me? And you just play that loop over and over again. And then people who are caught in these relationships become really self-disparaging. You say things to yourself like, why was I so stupid? Why did I fall for it? Why didn't I believe the people who actually did tell me? Because we all fall for it. Cognitive dissonance is real. and we break it to be what we want. We also put the focus on ourselves. We focus on doing everything we can to make the relationship look the way we want and blame ourselves for not being perfect when it doesn't work. We put together the holidays, we put together the vacations, we put it together so we can convince ourselves, I'm in a good relationship. It is traumatic to feel that you were living a sort of double life. You see the truth of it now, but while you were in it, could not imagine it was that. When I talk to long-term survivors, the rumination really takes a toll and draws them into their own heads. They think of their younger selves who still believed in all of it, who tried so hard, and they almost feel a sense of pity for that younger, seemingly naive person. Perhaps the grief